So guys, I brought all the largest lures in my collection today, specifically the ones that are going to be very tough for a smaller fish to hit, because again, I'm trying to single out the larger fish and trying to keep away the smaller ones. Caught enough of those so far this fall run. So this is another fairly new spot. I've only fished here once, but I thought it was a good idea to film this style of video here because the last and first time I came here, there was a very mixed bag of fish. There were schoolie bass, 12 to 15 inches. I had a bass over 25 inches. There were bluefish around 30 inches. So it's a great place to try and single out some larger fish in a very mixed area of fish. Okay guys, that was the first cast, and not a bad start. I wasn't expecting it to happen that fast. Oh, it's a bass too. Not totally surprised, but always prefer those on my wooden lures for obvious reasons. This thing has enough scars on it from bluefish. Check that out, guys. First cast, a nice little fatty on the Guppy Senior pencil popper. This is a hell of a start, so I am very excited to see what else is out there. Let's hurry up and get them back. Okay, so that was a pretty sweet start to the trip, but while we still get sunlight, I'm thinking I want to move around a little bit more, explore some of the areas over here that I didn't get to fish last time. So we're heading down to, it's kind of like a little point over here. What we were just casting into in the cove, it's shallower. That's why I was actually kind of surprised to get that bass in the first cast. Where I landed, it's pretty shallow. And over here is where the cove meets the river. So I'm confident there's probably going to be more fish hanging out over there. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but we just got a massive school of bait that's like at the very, very end of my casting range. They're not jumping yet, but I'm willing to bet there's some fish around that. Especially because they are so close to the surface. Okay, not as close as I wanted to be, but not too far off. I can see him starting to breach along the edges. Oh yeah, I can hear him jumping now. We just gotta reach him. Guys, this is like the worst tease. Like I can tell there are some big fish under that thing. Half that school is coming out of the water at once. I'm about 50 feet away though. But that thing's moving pretty quick. Maybe it'll swing by this way. All right, so that puts us pretty sweet. That was nice to see. But this section definitely seemed to die down after it. I've been casting for a little bit. I think we're gonna go back to the spot that I had those larger bluefish at the other night. It seemed shallow over there, but looking at the way the water is, I feel like there's a deeper drop off, and especially as the sun's going down, I feel like there might be some larger fish congregating in that area. So we're back to where we started the video. I had a lot of success here the other night, and the video started off pretty well here. Also, another important feature of this spot is, see over there where I released that fish earlier, there's a pretty shallow like slope to the beach, not a lot of pitch, but over there, I can sit on the rock and I have access to over a foot of water where I can hold the fish without it hitting the bottom and make sure it swims off properly.
Should cast over by the end of the channel.
The end of it?
Mm-hmm.
Like the side?
Yeah.
So like right there?
Yep.
Good call. Oh, cool, another bass. All right, guys, about the same size as the last one. Not quite a keeper, but definitely a lot of fun and definitely bigger than the ones we were catching in the creek last week. So let's get them back. Oh! They love to hit when I'm just not paying attention. And it scares the hell out of me. All right, guys, a little bit smaller than the last one, but still a solid little bass on the popper. Let's go back to our bass releasing rock. All right, guys, day 2. I wanted to come back out and give this spot a try in the morning, and there's a lot of birds in the area already, so I'm confident we're gonna get into some fish. Actually, just saw him breaking over to the left over there, so we're gonna retake that one. Oh, we're right next to him. That thing goes. Oh, there we go. Not a bad sign. All right, not a bad start to day 2. Feels a little bit heavier than the ones we had the other day. Let's get them back. Ready to go, perfect. So I think that's enough fish on the popper. Another lure I've had for a while but haven't really used much is the larger Sabile. If you've seen my other videos, you know I use the small one a lot. I've mentioned it. Really great lure at night, catching a ton of fish on it. But I just haven't really used the larger one so much. So we're gonna give that a shot. So the bite has really slowed down since I first got here. I feel like this is one of those spots that's really good in low light conditions because it was great the other night. when I fished it at sunset, and it was great this morning before the sun started coming over the trees like it is now. But that was a lot of fun to just take out the larger lures that have been, some of them have just been collecting dust in my room since I bought them. That larger popper, I really haven't used since I bought it, and those are the first fish I caught on it. So that was a lot of fun. I do want to point out, for those of you who may be watching my videos to learn more, that I don't necessarily recommend just going full out with the large lure strategy. You should be focusing on buying different profiles and different presentations and taking them with you so you have options. But like I said, this video is just for fun. There are certain things I do in my fishing that you guys will see that might not make sense, but it's just because it's fun for me, and that's what fishing's all about. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in my next video.